Friends, welcome to Enjoy Learning with Shai. Today we'll be learning about time complexity. I know everyone of you might have heard about time complexity. You know a bit about time complexity. Some of the people don't learn about time complexity because they are afraid that it's a very difficult. They think it's not a difficult terminology, but they think that it's a very difficult terminology. No, it's a very simple terminology. Today we'll be learning it in very simple words, simple steps. So what time complexity is? Time complexity is not the exact time taken by a program. First thing. Some people think that it's the exact time taken by program. No, it's not the exact time taken by program. You cannot measure the complexity of your program in exact time. Why you can't do that? Because it varies from different systems. On a system it takes some time, and on another system the same program takes different time, because your systems have different specifications. So you cannot measure the complexity of a program in time. But when you'll go learn competitive learning, or you'll practice competitive learning on different websites like HackerRank, they'll measure the time complexity in exact time, because they'll run on same compiler, they'll run on same system, and every program they'll be running on same compiler, same system. That's why they can measure, because they have put some constraints that your program cannot go beyond this time. So same program will always take same time, almost same time. It can vary within milliseconds, but on same system it will almost take same time with same input. That's also a thing, that they have the input constraints also they can do. But in general, you cannot measure your time complexity with the exact time taken by your program. So what time complexity is? Time complexity is the number of steps taken by the program. You measure the time complexity in number of steps. I don't write number exact word, it's very big word. So fine. Number of steps taken by the program is time complexity. Fine. What do you mean by number of steps? How can we measure it? Let's take an example. Assume we are writing a program to print one counting from 1 to n. So what will our program is? Int n. We did the scene. We are taking this value from user. Int I equals to 1, I less than equals to n, I plus plus, and then what we'll do is we'll just print I, and slash n slash t, whatever you want to, you can do. So how many steps will it be taking? 1, 1, 1. How many times will this condition run? We can find it out. Assume n equals to 3. So first time when I equals to 1, 1 is less than equals to 3, this condition will run, yes. 2 less than equals to 3, yes. 3 less than equals to 3, yes. 4 less than equals to 3, no. So after this, we'll come out of the loop, so this condition won't run. So this condition is running for 4 times, which is n plus 1 times. This condition will run n plus 1 times. How many times will this condition run? First time it won't run. Second time it will run. When I equals to 1, it will run. It will make I to 2. Next, it will make I to 3. Yes. It will make I to 4. Yes. After that, we are not going to run this condition because we have come out of the loop. So this statement will be running for n times, and this statement will run for n times because we are coming inside the loop for n times. So how many steps this program is taking? 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus n plus 1 plus n plus n. This is 3n plus 4. So exact number of steps are 3n plus 4 for this program. Okay. But we don't measure time complexity in exact number of steps, because compiler, what it does is it optimizes itself. Different compilers have different optimizations for running the program. It can do some optimizations. So exact number of steps, even we don't know how many exact number of steps the compiler will be running. Our program time basically depends on the factor of this unknown variable. These are the exact time, these are the fixed time. But on this variable, a time depends. Whenever we'll change the number of whenever we'll change this variable n, its time will differ. So our program basically depends on this variable. So whichever unknown variables are there in our time complexity, in our exact number of steps will be measuring the time complexity in that. So what's the time complexity of this program is n. Whatever is the highest power of the unknown variable, that's our time complexity. So for this program, it's n. We write it as O of n. Our time complexity is O of n. It can be n square, n cube. If we are running multiple loops, it can be log n, or it can be n plus m also, because there can be more than one variables. Uh, our time complexity can be measured in variables, unknown variables. We measure the time complexity in unknown variables. So it can be n plus m, or you can use different variables also. It doesn't have to be n or m always. Whatever variable name you want to give, you can give. That's your wish. So whichever unknown variables are there, it can be n square plus m also, n cube plus n, whatever highest power of n and different variables, whatever highest power of different variables, addition of that is our time complexity. Remember it. So this was straightforward n, but when is this n square? We can take one more example. So I can, if you want, I can create a different video of with example, a different video which will contain different examples for different time complexities for n. This was the example n square, n cube, n plus m, or log n, simple log n. These are the most common uses of most common time complexities which we use. Time complexity can be different also. This is the most common, which like search algorithms, sort algorithms has the time complexities. Once you are known to all these algorithms and you can find the time complexity, and you are like familiar with all these different time complexities, you'll get to know that it's very easy to find the time complexity of a program. We have made that mind that it's difficult. No, it's not that difficult. It is very easy. Like we found the time complexity of this program. It was straightforward and so mostly time complexities are straightforward. Don't be afraid of learning new concepts. They are very easy. Sometimes we think that it's difficult. No, at least time complexity is not a difficult task. We can take one more example. Now what we want to do is we want to create a matrix of n cross m, and every value is 1. We don't know what n and m is, so let's write a program for this. We can take these variables from user. We are taking input. Now first I equals to 1, I less than equals to n, I plus plus. Then what we want to do is j equals to 1, j is less than equals to m, j plus plus. See out 1. We always want to print 1, that's all. In this slash n, this is our program. What it will do is it will print matrix of 1, and that is n cross m matrix. Okay, we found the solution. Now let's find the time complexity of this program. This step will run one time, this step will run one time, so we can ignore it. Our focus is this, because it will run something n or m, depends on n and n, it will run. So how many times will it be running? This outer loop, this condition will run only one time. This condition will run n plus 1 times, and this condition will run n times. Okay, that is fine. So how many times will this condition run? We'll be coming inside this loop for n times. So this condition will run n times. This condition will run for every n time. For first time, this condition will run m plus 1 time. For second time, this condition will again run m plus 1 time. For third time, it will again run m plus 1 time. Whenever we'll come inside this loop, this condition will run m plus 1 time. So, and we are coming inside this loop n times. So this condition will run n into m plus 1 times. This condition, how many times will it run? It will run again n into m times. This, we are coming inside this loop for n into m times. This will also run n into m times. This condition will run n times. Okay. So how many times? What are the number of steps? N plus 1 plus n plus n into m plus 1 plus n into m plus n into m plus n. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, not this. 3. So this is 3n plus 1 plus nm plus n plus nm plus nm, which is 4n plus 1 plus 3nm. So we can leave this constant 4n plus 3nm. We can ignore these constants also. So this is n plus nm. What is the highest power? Nm, obviously. So our time complexity is nm for this. Isn't it simple? We can directly find out what is the highest power or highest multiple. So among these two, if it was n plus n, then we cannot take one variable. But n was there in everything. So it was n into m plus 1. So this is constant. We can leave the constant. It is nm. Simple. So the time complexity of this program was nm. It's very simple, you can see. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. If it's clear, it's too good. The best way to learn is to practice. So keep practicing. Take simple questions. Whatever question you write, try to find the time complexity of the question and you'll find out that it's very easy. If you have any doubt, just let me know in the comment section. If it was difficult to understand, still let me know. I'll try to make it more simpler. Thanks for watching. Thank you.